Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 50 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. First in, from the war in Europe, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has vowed to cause more destruction in Ukraine. His threat came after Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian city of Kazan. Moscow and Ukraine launched 8 drones towards the city, and at least 6 drones hit residential buildings and one struck an industrial facility, while another was shot down over a river. Following the attack, Kazan's airport temporarily halted its services. Russia's Putin also met Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico yesterday in Moscow. Both the leaders held surprise talks to discuss the future of Russian gas deliveries. Slovakia heavily relies on Russian gas, but the country has now raised concerns as their contract allowing its transit through Ukraine is set to expire this year. And Kiev has made it clear that it will not renew a transit contract amid ongoing war with Russia. Both Putin and Fico also discussed the conflict at Kremlin. Moving to West Asia, at least 35 people lost their lives due to Israeli strikes in Gaza on Sunday. At least 13 people were killed in an airstrike on a house in Deir al-Balah area. In a separate attack, several others were killed after a school was hit by a precision strike. Israeli forces also attacked Al-Mawasi humanitarian area in western Khan Yunis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel will act firmly against Houthis in Yemen. Netanyahu threatened Houthis after they launched a missile attack in Tel Aviv, injuring at least 16. He also accused them of disrupting world shipping and order. Netanyahu called the Houthis the last remaining arm of Iran's axis of evil. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said that no rebel groups around the region were functioning as Tehran's proxies. He added that if the country chose to take action, it will not need them anyway. Khamenei said Hamas and Hezbollah were taking action on battlefield according to their own faith and beliefs. Syria's rebel leader Abu Muhammad al-Jolani met Turkey Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan yesterday in Damascus. The latter called on world powers to lift sanctions on Syria as soon as possible. During their meet, both the leaders also discussed the seizure of Syria from former President Bashar al-Assad. Fidan said, and I quote, "This victory belongs to you and no one else," end quote. Turkey has repeatedly dismissed claims it had any involvement in the rebel-led offensive. Syrian leader Abu Muhammad al-Jolani said all weapons would be under the state control. He said this during his meeting with Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. The rebel leader further added that they are working to protect sects and minorities from any attacks. Jolani said that Syria was a country for all and everyone can coexist with each other. A helicopter crashed into a hospital in southwestern Turkey on Sunday. At least 4 people were killed in the tragic mishap. 2 pilots, a doctor and an employee were among the 4 people killed. The provincial governor blamed thick fog for the accident. However, he added that the authorities were investigating the accident's cause. In the United States, President-elect Donald Trump has dismissed speculations of his ally Elon Musk taking over the presidency. He affirmed, saying it was not happening. Trump added, to become the president, a person needs to be born in the country. But the world's richest man, Musk, has been born in South Africa. However, he has been tapped by Trump to lead the all-new Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Trump has threatened to take over the Panama Canal upon taking office. The incoming U.S. president accused Panama of letting China manage the key passage. A subsidiary of Hong Kong-based firm has managed 2 ports located on the Caribbean and Pacific entrances to the Central American waterway. Panama's president, Jose Mulino, asserted his country's control over the canal. He said, quote-unquote, every square meter of the Panama Canal and its adjacent areas belong to Panama. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has picked Mauricio Claver Caronay to serve as a special envoy to Latin America. He also served under Trump's administration during his first term. Caronay was fired from his previous position as the head of the Inter-American Development Bank. In 2022, he was found having an intimate relationship with a staffer. However, Caronay denied having any affair. China has firmly opposed the US President Joe Biden's approval for military aid to Taiwan. The outgoing president has pledged $571 million in defense assistance last week. China's foreign ministry said the move infringed China's sovereignty and security interests. It added that China has lodged stern representations with the US. The Philippines' military has said it is planning to acquire the US Typhoon missile system. The move is to protect its maritime interests. The US Army deployed the mid-range missile system in the northern Philippines earlier this year. Since then, it is being used by Philippine forces for training purposes. Beijing swiftly condemned the decision to acquire the system as a provocative and dangerous move. A small aircraft tragically crashed in Brazil's Gramado city. At least 10 passengers on board died in the unfortunate incident. According to officials, the plane collided with the chimney of a house before crashing. The aircraft crashed shortly after the takeoff from the nearby city of Canela. A massive protest broke out in Serbia's capital Belgrade against President Aleksandar Vučić and his ruling Serbian Progressive Party yesterday. The demonstrators blamed the ruling government for a railway station roof collapse. The accident that took place last month killed at least 15 people. During the protest, the demonstrators turned on their lights, off their phones and commemorated the victims. A woman died after being set on fire on a subway station in New York's Brooklyn yesterday. A man suspected of killing the woman has been arrested. According to the police, she appeared to be asleep in the train when the man used a lighter to set fire to her clothes. The woman succumbed to her injuries and the investigation into the matter is underway. In climate news, in Mozambique, the death toll from Cyclone Chido has risen to 94. This is according to the country's disaster management agency. The cyclone hit the nation nearly a week ago, killing over 70 people. The Indian Ocean archipelago marked yacht before the brunt of the storm. In South Sudan's Jonglei region, relentless flooding has displaced over 379,000 people this year. Communities now survive on food aid and World Food Program aid and collecting wild plants and water lilies when supplies run out. Medical facilities are crippled with no access to supplies or pay for workers. Climate change combined with mismanagement and a lack of infrastructure has worsened seasonal flooding in the region. Officials of Australia's Victoria state said that an out-of-control bushfire will burn for days. The fire prompted an evacuation order for hundreds of locals. It has now covered 34,000 hectares of nearly 84,000 acres of bush. Hundreds of firefighters have been deployed to contain the fire. In northwestern Peru, an oil spill is threatening the ecosystem of Capulana's beach. Dozens of people were deployed to do the cleanup. The sand of the beach has turned black due to the spill. Details about the amount of crude oil spill is not known. Moving to business and tech news now, the Starbucks workers' strike in the US gained momentum over the weekend. Baristas of the world's largest coffee chain expanded their protest to 10 cities. Starbucks says its operations have not been affected due to the strike. The disagreement stems from issues over wages and working conditions. Donald Trump has picked Indian-American Sriram Krishnan as the senior White House policy advisor for the artificial intelligence. Krishnan has his roots from the Indian city of Chennai. He has worked well with tech giants like Microsoft, erstwhile Twitter and Yahoo. Party City, America's largest party supply chain, has filed for bankruptcy. The company is wedging down its operations after nearly 40 years of business. Party City has bought about 700 stores in the US, all of which will be closed on February 28th. Around 12,000 employees will lose their jobs as a result. The Canadian National Railway averted a potential strike. Unifor, or union representing workers, have signed a deal with the country's freight railway. The new 4-year contract improves wages, benefits and job security for railway workers at terminals and offices across Canada. Malaysia Airlines have grounded their new jet named Airbus A330neo. The airline has decided not to let their plane take off due to safety concerns. The plane experienced problems during its maiden flight on December 19th. The jet has been grounded until tomorrow. Honda and Nissan began merger talks on Monday. Their successful integration will create the world's third largest automaker. Reports say the merger deal will be finalized by June 2025. The Japanese giants aim to help each other compete with Chinese electric vehicles through a collaboration. Germany's largest car maker, Volkswagen, will cut over 35,000 jobs in the country. Volkswagen aims to save billions through the move. These job cuts will be implemented by 2030, and workers will have the option of voluntary exits and early retirements. JP Morgan has sold its entire stake in Star Entertainment Group, which is Australia's biggest casino operator. Star has been struggling with investigations following tourism, and its financial troubles have caused a drop in its share value. Singapore's National Postal Service, Singapore Post, fired its chief executive and 2 other senior managers. Singh's Post action follows a whistleblower report that accuses company employees of misconduct. Albania has imposed a 1-year ban on the popular short video app TikTok. The move follows the death of a teenager last month. The incident raised fears about the impact of social media on children. Albania's Prime Minister blames TikTok for rising violence and bullying among children in the country. The ban will take effect from next year. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. India beat West Indies by 211 runs in the first Women's One-Day International of the 3-match series. Batting first, India put 314 runs on the scoreboard. Chasing the total of 315 runs, West Indies were all out for 103 runs. India's Renuka Singh starred in the match after a 5-wicket haul. India now lead the 3-match series 1-0. Meanwhile, India beat Bangladesh by 41 runs to win the first ever Under-19 Women's T20 Asia Cup. Batting first, India scored 117 runs in return. Bangladesh were all out for just 76 runs. The Indian spin trio of Parunika Sisodia, Ayushi Shukla and Sonam Yadav picked 7 wickets in total. The United Arab Emirates will host India's group stage games in Champions Trophy next year. This after Pakistan's cricket board chose UAE as the neutral venue for India's matches in the ICC event. Until 2027, India and Pakistan will play their respective games at a neutral venue. This is due to India's refusal to travel to Pakistan over security reasons. In football, Real Madrid beat Sevilla 4-2 in a La Liga match. Kylian Mbappe scored the opening goal in the 10th minute. By the 34th minute, 2 successive goals by the Vikings pulled them in a 3-0. The scoreline went to 3-1 after Isaac Romero struck a goal for Sevilla. In the 53rd minute, Brahim Diaz scored the Real Madrid's 4th goal. Sevilla's Dodi Luque Bacayo hit the back of the net minute before the end of regular time. Atletico Madrid beat Barcelona 2-1 in a La Liga match. Barcelona's Pedri scored the first goal in the 30th minute. Atletico's Rodrigo de Paul scored an equalizer 15 minutes into the second half. Alexander Sorloth struck the winning goal after the end of regular time to deny Barca a win. Fulham played goalless draw with Southampton in the Premier League. For Fulham, this is the 3rd straight tie in the Premier League. Southampton offered little in the attack but saved Fulham's multiple attempts to hit the back of the net. Fulham manager Marco Silva admitted that they missed an achievable chance of victory. Meanwhile, Manchester United tasted their 2nd straight defeat after losing EL Cup quarter-final last Friday. United lost their Premier League match against Bournemouth 3-0 yesterday. For Bournemouth, Dean Hawson scored the first goal in the 29th minute. Justin Kluivert turned a penalty into goal in the second half to take the scoreline 2-0. Antoine Samiano sealed the match by scoring in the 63rd minute. Liverpool beat Tottenham Hotspur 6-3 in a Premier League match. Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah starred for Liverpool as they scored 2 goals each. Their teammates Alexis Mac Allister and Dominique Soboslai also put their names on the scoresheet before the second half. Tottenham struggled to get past Liverpool's defence until the end of the game. In tennis, Joao Fonseca won the next-gen ATP finals. The 18-year-old Brazilian beat his US opponent Liana Tian 2-4, 4-3, 4-0, 4-2. After Italy's Yannick Sinner, Fonseca is now the second youngest champion of the tournament. The next-gen ATP finals is a showpiece tournament featuring men's players under the age of 20. Daniel Ricciardo has credited Netflix for bringing respect to Formula One. The Australian driver said that the streaming platform's drive to survive has brought a sense of respect around F1 among the general masses. Moving to the world of showbiz, actor Blake Lively has sued It Ends With Us director Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. The actor reportedly claims in her lawsuit that this was done to destroy her reputation. The director's behavior allegedly caused her severe emotional distress. Lively and Baldoni worked together in the film that released in August this year. Meanwhile, director Justin Baldoni has been reportedly dropped from his agency after actor Blake Lively filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. As soon as the news broke about the lawsuit, his agency reportedly immediately parted ways with him. The agency also manages Blake Lively and her husband and actor Ryan Reynolds. Indian actor Allu Arjun's Hyderabad residence was vandalized by protesters following a stampede at screening of his film Pushpa 2, which resulted in a woman's death. Protesters pelted stones and tomatoes, broke flower pots and tried to enter the house. Demanding justice, they called for the actor to compensate the victim's family. Police arrested 8 protesters. Meanwhile, an intruder broke into actor Michael B. Jordan's Los Angeles home. He entered the actor's house by saying that he is from Jordan's security team. According to reports, when the man's lie was caught, he was immediately escorted off the property. The actor was reportedly at his home when the incident happened. US President-elect Donald Trump has appointed Mark Burnett as special envoy to the United Kingdom. Burnett is the producer of the film Apprentice, which is based on Trump's journey in the US. Trump took to social media and stated that Burnett will work to enhance diplomatic relations. This will include trade, investment, opportunities, and cultural exchanges. Actor Tom Holland says he is excited to work with Christopher Nolan. However, he doesn't know any details about the project yet. This would be the duo's maiden collaboration. The film features a star-studded cast with names like Matt Damon, Zendaya, and Anne Hathaway. The shooting is yet to begin, confirmed the Spider-Man star. Actor Jared Leto will be seen playing the role of Skeletor in the upcoming film Masters of the Universe. He will join the previously casted Alison Brie, Camila Mendes, and Idris Elba. The film is based on Mattel's famous storyline. It will be helmed by Bumblebee director Travis Knight. Mufasa the Lion King has scored $122 at the international box office. In North American theaters, the film collected over $35 million. According to reports, China contributed the most with collection of $7.8 million. The film released on the 20th of December. Meanwhile, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 collected $62 million in its opening weekend in North America. The film collected this amount from over 3,000 theaters. The story follows Sonic, Knuckles and Tails as the team to face their most powerful adversary. It released on the 20th of December. And finally, Woody Fraser has passed away at the age of 90. He was the producer and creator of The Mike Douglas Show and Good Morning America. Fraser's daughter confirmed the news of his passing. He is survived by his 8 children and 3 grandchildren. Thanks all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gusheen Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.